Hey, Linda, you got in this week. So, hi, Linda. I'm glad you got in this week.
I'm in, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I know you were trying last week. I don't know what was going on last week. I'm glad it worked this week.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on either. I tried the thing that was on the website, but then it didn't match. The date was different. Connor said, "Is the date the same date?" And the date was different. So I don't know what happened. But anyway, it's
Yeah.
okay. I watched it. Then I watched it the next day, and I think the survey is a great idea. I
Oh,
think
good.
it's yeah, I totally agree. I love surveys. I like to hear what people have to say about stuff.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So thanks for
Perfect.
doing that.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Well, and I think we'll be able to because we have a version floating around, so we're gonna talk about it here, and I think it's getting close to being able to send it out the door. So.
Okay. Are you mailing them or?
No, no. The youth center mailed theirs. They I don't know if they spent $5,000 or what, but
Yeah.
it went to every mailbox. They got
Yeah.
85 back. So
Wow.
spending $5,000, you get 85 back. And the thing about their project is they're talking about a multi-million-dollar project.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was business justified, I think, to spend $5,000 on a mail out survey.
Right.
We're planning to get the word out. There's a lot of social media. We'll get, the press. I announced it at the town board meeting last week. So
Yeah.
we're planning to just spread the word out and we can hopefully get 85 responses by
Yeah.
social.
How are people going to get it? Is it going to be on the town website? Is that how it's going to work?
It's going to have a, let me get, admitting June here. So, it's going to have a URL that you may need to type in. We'll
Okay.
have to see whether we can print out a notice because the youth center task force had a QR code, and so
Yeah.
the postcard I had a QR code. So we may be able to print that out and leave it at the town clerk or leave it at the library or something. So we haven't really talked about all those things, but we're planning to and we may even and we are planning to have the town website talk about it, probably with a link that people can copy paste.
Yeah.
So
You could probably put a QR code on the town website too, and then people could just hold their phone up and get it, and
we'll
then
see if that. Well,
and
we'll
send.
see if that's that may be the answer. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
if that, yeah, it's kind of funny. They're and we're all, I think, a similar generation here. So it's interesting because I always think the younger generation is really hip on all this stuff, but we can figure it out. I think we can. I think we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. Well, good. That's great.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
what I mentioned, just about that survey, what I mentioned, one of these meetings,
Uh-huh.
about that survey, like we have one mailbox on our
Right.
doorstep here,
And you
and
didn't
it's a
get
multi-family, so it's like who knows who grabbed it, right? So I
right,
didn't
and
get
you
to
didn't
take
get it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, so we're going to social media. Yeah, we're not going to put it in mailboxes. We're going to get the word out through social media. So,
yeah.
so you
And
should be
there's
able
so
to
many
get.
different social media, there's so many different social media. I don't know if the CCD meeting was posted somewhere as canceled. Like I went down really quickly. I had a question. So,
Oh dear.
and I went down, but like the door's locked, like you never know. There's no
Right,
way to,
right. Yeah. Well, when we say social media, so and we don't quite have all of our members. We don't have a quorum yet, but I know people have but we can still share so that everyone knows what's going on. But in any event, so the plan is to put it on the town website, and hopefully there's a way to pin things so they stay at
right.
the top, and put it on the town Facebook page. And I was thinking I was going to bring up at this call, I could write a letter to the editor to Hudson Valley One. I did bring up at the town board meeting this past Tuesday to let people know that it's coming and that we expect by the end of September that we'll have it, and we plan to give people a month to take it. So I did talk about that. So my thought is I can get a hold of Nick Henderson and I can get hold of the Freeman also. Even though the town's official paper is Hudson Valley One, I can still get a hold of the Freeman reporter I have his number. So,
Yeah.
and I could write a letter to the editor of the Freeman also. So,
Yep.
so my thought.
Another idea?
Joe's,
Um,
Go ahead.
excuse me, Joe's in the waiting room.
Oh, dear.
So is
Thank
Connor.
you.
So is Connor.
Yay. Wow. Thank you. You know,
Hey, Laura,
they're usually right in my face so thank you. Thank you very much.
I had
So-
another outreach idea, just real quickly about that, is
Yeah. So
hook up with the PTA.
Yeah. But what we need to do,
PTA.
Sarah.
Yeah,
well,
I know we're done there, but you got a quorum now, but
because
PTA would
we-
be a great outreach.
Oh, the PTA is in schools? Okay.
Like Woodstock Elementary PTA, because they would be, you know, the most affected, I think, by
Well,
the
they're
youth
in
center.
town,
So they
right.
would probably be really, really interested. So Scott Richards, you know, is the principal there. He'd probably be a great resource to hook you up with
So,
them
okay.
if
Well,
you don't have a
Lin-
contact. Yeah.
Well, Linda, as I recall, when you had the tree planting day and you had that whole class came, you contacted the school, I think, right?
Yeah, I did. I went to visit. I sent them emails. They said, no. And then the last minute, they actually have an environmental teacher that found out about it and did want to do it. So at the very last minute, they said, okay, and they were really happy to do it.
Right. Well,
But yeah, it took some, outreach.
Gotcha.
But so would you have a contact, or Sarah, you said you had a PTA contact?
Actually, I'm not sure who's heading the PTA this year. It's just Scott Richards is the name of the principal, and he's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't
But
mind making
Becky's who will answer the phone in the
Yeah.
office, and she's the coolest. So
Yeah.
they'll help you.
Can we, because we've only got Connor for 20 minutes.
for-
Can
yeah.
we just talk about the
All right.
survey if anybody has anything?
Yeah, okay.
I had one question, the Woodstock short-term rental STR community feedback survey form. Should there be another word at the end of that?
I'm sorry. Well, first of all, let me, if it's okay. Well, so I know Joe and Connor are both on mute. Now Connor's off mute, and Joe, yeah. So we are officially in the meeting now. We do officially have a quorum. So we're cool. In fact, we have 100% at this point. And welcome Joe to his first official ZRC meeting. So thank you, Joe.
Wonderful. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So we thank you for being here. So anyway, let me, when I share my screen, what I'm going to bring up is I'm going to bring up the Word document. I also did open up every one of those other pages, although even though it shows what it looks like, the other pages did not, they didn't show everything. It was
No,
kind of
I didn't do them all because the screen was so small. I could only grab a
Right.
few at a time. So I just wanted to give you an idea what the visual was.
yeah,
The Word document has all the questions on it. And
sure.
then once we decide that this is all okay, I can deploy it. I can send it to the three of you, and you
Yep.
can look at it. But once it's done, I don't think I can go back and change things. So it'd be really good if we could nail it and then.
Right. Okay.
So let's do this. So
So what I will do first is I just also bring up, this is what the first page looks like. So your question just now, Jude, was, should something go on the end of this?
right.
Woodstock short-term rental community feedback.
It doesn't have to. It just felt to me,
I mean, I'm happy with it as is. You could add form, you could add survey, but we're looking for feedback. I don't know, Connor or Joe, how are you feeling about?
I'm totally fine with feedback. It feels a little bit less like homework, honestly. Like,
Okay.
I mean, not for nothing, you don't want people to look at it and be like, oh, that's work. Like, and this is like, oh, I get to say something. So, and that's what we want. So yeah,
cool.
I like that.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
So
Okay,
I
no,
just-
and Joe, did you want to vote too? Because that's two, not counting Jude, that's 2 votes that it's fine as is. Joe, did you want to vote?
Yes, I'll vote in favor. Yes.
Keeping it. Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
This is good because sometimes I get going in circles and I'm not sure. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so I had a question, as long as we're on this first page. The only remaining thing, and I thought it looked wonderful, and a huge thank you to Jude, who's been very patient, very persevering. and getting this together in front of us and moving forward. So thank you, a huge thank you to Jude. Anyway, the one thing that we may want to add, where we say currently there's a capital number for SDRs and the limit of 180 and 26 weekends. We do ask further on down a question of should there be fewer days for owner occupied, and I didn't know whether this, just add a quick sentence here saying that there's no limit right now for owner occupied, but because okay, because otherwise they won't know, you know, you set the stage so they have the main facts for the non-owner occupied.
Okay.
So I just say there's no limit for owner occupied. Okay. Other than that, that was my only comment of the whole thing.
Okay.
Did either Joe or Connor want to talk more about, I can run through all the questions. I have that in the Word document. Did you want to do one more run through? I saw everybody's email that said everybody liked it like it was.
No, I mean, I'm fine as the questions haven't changed materially. And now, I do like the delineation of having like the first block be, you know, those formatted questions we asked, and then more open-ended comment sections in a second section.
Right. Yes. I thought it was excellent. Right. So we've got that. I'm just flipping through right. Well, this is the main intro stuff.
Right, and all those are required.
Yeah, and then this is nice that you start out. Do you agree or disagree with the following statements? And it's nice because they're not redundant questions between them. So so it's just kind of straightforward, and I think it's excellent.
So the heading, I made a heading, multiple choice survey questions. Is that okay? Okay.
Fine. It's good.
You know,
It's good.
I spoke to somebody who was like, maybe you don't want to have so many choices, but I kind of like it.
Oh no, I like it.
Okay, good.
So I think it's fine saying multiple choice survey questions. I think it's fine having the 5 choices. I think it's perfect. Go ahead, Connor.
I mean, as opposed to saying what, like just essentially STR survey questions.
But they're all questions. You got multiple choice, and then you got the open-ended.
Yeah, I mean, if I were gonna, it's fine. It's totally fine.
This is getting very, very picky, but you know, but as I'm going through this, I'm like, okay, is that the right thing? You know, because you just get so focused and you get so into the details. I mean, I just threw that in there because I needed a marker for it.
Yeah.
And we call them survey questions, but they're all survey questions.
Yeah.
I had to differentiate them somehow.
Yeah, and then your comments is how you started this next section, and this is the open-ended.
Right.
I'm inclined to say just questionnaire again, only because firing from the hip, multiple choice sounds like you're taking a test.
Well,
and
okay, so back here, so we've got the. Let me go back. Sorry. Okay, so this section that is the open-ended, the header is your comments.
Yeah.
And then this section with the. Sorry, let me get back to it properly. This section with the multiple choice. Do you want to just take out the word survey and just say multiple choice questions?
Sure.
I'm more into taking out multiple choice. I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of evident, you know.
We gotta call it something.
But I don't feel that strongly about it. I'm just saying if that's my only little like, maybe, but not enough to gum it up.
What we had before was survey questions, and that's when I was like, okay, they're all survey questions. So I had to change something. So we can call it anything you want, but we just have to differentiate the 3 sections: your information, your comments, and
survey. Yeah. Well, they're all survey. The thing about I agree with Jude though. If you make this one survey questions, well, the other one, they're all survey questions. So if we just call it survey questions, they're all survey questions, and we haven't really differentiated this section.
Then we can. We can move on. I'm not trying to gum it up or anything.
No, it's really okay, because we have your information, your comments. Can this be your opinions? They're all your opinions. This is where I get stuck. I don't know. We can just put that aside for now.
Oh, Joe, were you going to say something? Or no? Sorry. Yeah.
Can I take a look at the your comments section?
Yeah, let me bring it up.
all the questions aren't there. You'd have to look, because I was taking screenshots and I can only get a small.
Yeah, okay, so what's the next section then?
Can you,
Well,
can you show them on the Word document, Laura? So
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
I'll
do
bring
is
up the,
paste
I
it
can bring
all
up
into
the,
a Word, because I was.
yeah, well, I think as far as your comments, this is what the end of it looks like.
Okay, got it. So, yeah, I mean, we could say STR policy questionnaire,
Oh, you mean policy questions?
because
Oh,
those
that's
that's what really delineates the two oh shoot. Sorry, I'm losing it. I'm gonna have to go soon. That's my
So you,
only thing. It's
so you
not
just want to
even
call this, you just want to call this policy questions instead of
short
multiple choice?
So I was gonna say short-term rental policy questionnaire or policy questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna
Or
look, I am gonna
policy
pull,
or short or policy survey, anything like that. I'm just saying like where it says your comments, that draws you in. Where it says, feedback, that draws you in. Multiple choice feels like here's your hammer, like get to work.
so, yeah, this is the latest Word document that I had up here. I would just go for, I honestly would just keep it multiple choice survey questions because we can go nuts trying to make it perfect. I would hope it wouldn't scare people away, 'cause it is multiple choice. And, they're all survey questions. So if we just say survey questions, and if we say STR policy, we'd have to look at all the questions and say, hey, are we sure they're all policy? They kind of are.
I am sure they're all policy, but at the same time, I don't care that much. I'm fine, and unfortunately, I have to go soon. So I will say, I will vote to proceed as amended.
Well, as amended with it saying policy questions, or as amended, just what we already talked about?
I just mean the whole thing. We don't have to change the name of this section, just as amended so far.
Okay, sounds good. So we should move. Joe, did you have anything that you wanted to change? And Joe, you're on mute. I don't know if you want to come off mute.
Nope, I don't have any changes at this point. Obviously still getting familiarized with everything, but I don't have any changes right now.
Okay, so my thought is, as I said before Connor and Joe joined, I did bring this up at the town board meeting to let people know that this is coming. My thought so the next topic is, how do we get the word out? So Jude, are you going to be sending us one more Word document? There were just little tweaks that you had, but you're going to send us one more Word document, or probably not, because the tweaks are small. And in fact, this header wasn't even in the last Word document. So
Did you get the one I sent today?
I thought that was the one that I pulled up.
Okay, so because that should have been in there, but it's okay. This is what I'm hoping is that when we can resolve this and this feels like it's done, I can then have a link. I can just send you the survey. What I'm planning on doing is, I have as you can see, what I had to end up doing was getting a tiny URL for the link to the law. Law. I'm going to do the same thing for the survey. And I also want to get a QR code. And so my thought is, making some kind of flyer, maybe little cards that we can leave around or pass out. Like there's going to be a really big ZBA meeting this week. And if I can get it done by then, we can hand it there. There's going to be a ton of people there.
Okay.
And then we have to do the social media. So we just have to figure out who's going to do what. We also talked about a letter to all the, committees and boards.
Right.
And then, spreading it out. I don't know what else we can think of. I mean, Sarah suggested the PTA, which I think is a great idea. And anything else anybody can think of, any other way to spread the word?
Well, so the first thing is, or I interrupted you and I apologize. But the first, like I said before, I think, so the town website, I'm making notes here as I'm talking here. So town website, town Facebook. And the question that I would have is, should we work together on drafting what paragraph should go there? So we'll need your tiny, the tiny URL. We'll need the QR code, and then we'll have a quick paragraph. But it's probably going to look a lot like the beginning of what you've already got here. It'll probably look a lot like this. So
that's what I'm thinking too. Yes.
Yeah. So in any event, so we just need to get the paragraph together, and you'll get the link and the QR code. I will work with you to make sure it goes on the town. It's like you'll pass the baton to me. You'll get the tiny link in the QR code. You'll pass the baton to me. I'll make sure it goes on the town website and the town Facebook page. And I'm going to use these lead-in words that you've got. And then I like your idea of a postcard or a flyer. And we're not going to mail them out, but we can have a stack at the clerk's office. We can have a stack at the library. So we would need to figure out what the postcard / flyer would look like. I don't know who's doing the postcard flyer. I mean, Jude, if you want, we can work on it together if you want to work on it together.
Let's do
Okay.
that.
So
I
Jude,
had a couple ideas, but I really think, we just need to use the same language for the most part, because
Well,
it's pretty explanatory. And I will add that one, there is no limit for.
oh, for the,
I'll come up with the right language for that, where we have the caps. There is no cap.
well, so currently there's a cap on the number of STRs and a limit of 180 days and 26 weekends that non-occupied STR can be rented. There is no cap on the number of days. There's a cap on the number of permitted STRs for owner occupied, but there's no cap on the number of days that a permitted owner occupied can rent. So that's not the perfect wording, but that's the statement as I understand it, is
Right.
there is no, owner occupieds. The permitted owner occupied STRs do not have a limit on number of days they can rent.
Okay.
So that would be kind of what the sentence looks like. So you'll have the sentence, you'll have the tiny link, you'll have the QR code. The only thing that's handy to put on flyers or postcards sometimes is a picture. I guess the town, maybe all we need is the town logo. Maybe that's all we need on it. Maybe we don't need a picture, but in any event, just the town logo might be all we need. So, okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but I'm gonna have to go like
Okay.
just about right now. Do you need anything affirmative from me to move forward?
Well, not really. The other thing I was going to say real quick is I was also going to write a letter to the editor for Hudson Valley 1. So I'm going to wait till we have the tiny link so I can put that in the letter to the editor. But I'm taking away the to do for Hudson Valley 1 letter to the editor. Is there anything
that's also like if we do that, just it would be great to put an emphasis on them sharing it online as well. I don't know, just to make sure. That's very.
Do you have access? Do you have social media that you can post it on?
Yeah, I would share it to Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing.
Okay,
I'm not on TikTok or Twitter, unfortunately or fortunately.
So I'm going to put you down. I know you got to go, and I interrupted you again. I apologize, but I know I'm trying to before Connor leaves. So Connor, I'm going to write you down for social media, but it's really your own site. But are there other sites, Connor, that you can think of that we need to get out on?
Well, not so much sites. What it is I want to go into particularly on Facebook, the groups. I'm going to go into Facebook groups for the community and share this. That's where the most concentration, not just of Woodstockers, but interested Woodstockers is going to be. And, my only other stick before I got to go is, just all of us also as individuals encouraging people to take it, when we do share it for me on Facebook, I'm going to add something like, just like imploring, please do take this. It will help, the town, that sort of thing. It'll help you. It'll help people,
Okay. So I'm writing you down for social media in general, because I'm not real up on all the groups, but it sounds like you kind of know them. So we'll look to you once we get kind of the other stuff all formed. It'll probably be easier for you to know how you want to post it. So Jude and I'll work on the postcard and the flyer, and then you can take the verbiage and we'll leave it to you. You'll do the social media piece. Any other things? And Sarah has said going to the PTA, so which we'll add that to the list.
I'm going to get running now. I'm sorry, guys, but starting after October 4th, I'm 100. I'm all good. So again, I apologize. You have a great rest of your night.
Okay, our next meeting is going to be the 14th, October 14th.
Perfect. All right. Talk to you soon.
We'll get you the info for posting.
Yeah, we'll find it. We'll find you kind of when we need you, but before then.
Where I live. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah. Those Facebook groups are pretty active. So that's a good outlet.
What Joe, are there things that you know of? I know, well, the social media groups, when you say Facebook groups, you're talking about the social media, right? The groups for the community. So yeah,
For-
yeah, they are
yeah.
pretty active.
Yeah, and they're fairly active. There's a lot of members, and
I think there are like 3 of them. There's the Woodstock Bulletin Board, and then there's 2 others. And yeah, we probably want to get on all of them. And I don't know if anybody has next door.
So I think,
Get
yeah.
somebody to post that.
Well, we'll put that on Connor's list. See if he wants to get on next door. Next door. So we'll get with Connor later about the social media. So anyway, so back to Sarah's idea is the PTA, the school. So I'm going to add, and I think that when we get the postcard and flyer out, that's probably a good time to maybe get with the school, I think. Oh, and we seem to have lost, I think we lost both Joe and Connor.
Joe might have been in the car.
Well, you know, he was, yeah, he sounded like he was underwater, so that's a sign. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay, Joe. We saw you going, and we're happy to have you back. Okay, so I'm putting my name next down to PTA in elementary school, and that's an excellent point. So appreciate that. Okay, is there any other? Oh, go ahead.
No, will you write an email to everybody, like all the housing committee and the planning board, and will you do that, or do you want me to do that, or how do you want to do that?
Well, I know we were going to work together on the postcard and the flyer, and I'm going to do a letter to the editor. So I guess I'll put my name next to that. I'll do a draft, but before it goes out, I'll send it to people and see what they think. So you and I are going to work together on the postcard and flyer. I'm going to work. I think my letter to the editor is going to look a lot like my letter to the committees. So since I'm doing letter to the editor, yeah,
Great.
I think it'll look. I think
No,
it'll
we
look
should get everybody, the CCD, the Como,
right.
you know, everybody, the tree committee, everybody.
Right.
I
And
think
just
that's where to get to do that.
ask them to spread the word.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I
Okay.
probably am gonna want to try to nail down at least the flyer, maybe the postcard in the next day, just so
Okay.
that I think that having them there on Thursday could be really good.
Oh, right, for your meeting.
Yeah, so this is basically, you know, me doing this on my printer, so.
Yep, I get it. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So tomorrow I'm around a bunch. As you know, my cell is the best way to reach me. So if you wanted me to take a look at anything that you're doing, I'm kind of here and there tomorrow, but kind of around. So anyway,
Well,
I do have I do have a town meeting. I have a town meeting that I will be attending in the evening, however.
Okay.
So, but I can certainly look at if you want to do a first draft of that, and I can take a look at what you've got.
Okay.
Okay. Is there, because I was going to open it up to Linda and Sarah, if we're kind of finished with our ZRC business, I was going to show Linda and Sarah all the questions just so that they're in the loop. But I want to make sure we're finished with our ZRC business before I open it up.
I'm good as long as, you know, we have those 2 changes, as far as I know, right?
Yeah. Well, the one was adding the sentence about the owner occupied does not have a limited days. Yeah, permitted owner occupied does not have a limited number of days. And what was the second change again?
We're going back and forth about that multiple choice thing.
Oh yeah, I think that Connor said it wasn't important enough to hold everything up, and we don't really have a perfect answer. I don't think. I don't know. I can't think of a better. I mean, it is multiple choice. And if you just say survey questions, they're all survey questions. And I think the first section says survey questions. So
I just make it multiple choice questions. I don't know. I'll sleep on it.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, what Connor didn't like was the multiple choice because it seemed like school. So that was his comment. So we have the your information section. We have the well, that's more of your information. Multiple choice survey questions. Your comments. I'm just going, I'm scrolling
Then
around here.
I added a sentence, 2 sentences at the end of the survey. I think I sent those to everybody. Just as a, basically thank you kind of deal.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm just looking. Yeah, and your comments. I didn't know whether there's anything we could put here. We have your comments, your information. If this could be a your something, it would go with the flow of the your.
Me too. I agree, but I just don't know what it would be.
Right. Right. Well, if you do just say policy questions, I think they pretty much are. I mean, that was the other thing that Connor had said is these are actually policy questions. So that if you wanted to go there, I'm just going to come up here to look at them. Do you agree or disagree with the following statements? To strengthen, should reduce the number of owner occupied, reduce the number of non-owner occupied.
This isn't the most recent one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop sharing because if I'm going to go fishing around, I'm going to go fishing around my email.
Because we added a question, remember?
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure. So let me go. I thought that.
Did I send the wrong?
The one you sent today at 2:10, I'm opening that one. Oh, look at that. I thought I had the right one open and I don't think I did.
Yeah.
So very good, because this one says Kobo Toolbox Survey.
Right.
So let me close the other one. No wonder it looked funny.
Yeah.
That would be the answer of why it looked funny. Oh, oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going back to Zoom and I'm going back to share my screen. Okay, so here we go. We'll take it from the top, and that looks good. The Woodstock Zoning Revision Committee is working to update the town zoning law. To view the current law, click here. And I know you've got the click here is going to be there. Yeah. And I'm going to click on enable editing. There we go. All right. So now if I want to add something, I can. The survey is being conducted to provide Woodstock residents an opportunity to express their opinions on the town current regulations. And when here you refer to in those regulations as opposed to policy, which I like. Currently, as a cap, I'm permitted on the number of permitted STRs, limited 120 days. Sorry for talking fast here. Anyway, I'm going to change the font here. Permitted. Permitted owner occupied STRs. Do not have an annual permit. I don't know if that's an okay statement, but I think that's what we want to say.
Right.
We welcome your thoughts. So we have your information. Current most. Okay. And then these are the, yeah, do you just agree or disagree with the following statements? Well, the other option is, instead of saying multiple choice survey questions, let me just ask and delete this. What happens if you delete that?
I like that. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that.
I mean, okay. And I just want to go make sure I know what we've got here. This is a style. Well, it's normal. I don't know how to, anyway. And
it resolves everything you were looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, it resolves what Connor was looking for, I think.
Yeah, everyone. That's what I meant.
Yeah, there we go.
Right in front of our noses.
Okay, so I'm just going to put a strike through in this so that we know what we were thinking of doing here. Okay. Okay, so that's it. And it looks so much neater in the photos you sent us. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
very good.
It looks
Okay.
fine.
Okay, so we've done, so this is the section. Town should strengthen. Do you agree or not agree? Reduce the number of permitted owner-occupied STRs. Agree, mostly agree, whatever. Reduce the number of permitted non-owner-occupied STRs. Should require all STRs to have a full-time primary resident owner on premise during all STR rentals. Should allow an unlimited number of full-time residents to each have one STR provided they're on the premise during rental, and that the STR is a room for rent not suitable for long-term rental. Should allow an unlimited number of full-time residents to each have one STR provided they're on the premises during rentals, even if it would be suitable as a long-term rental. And you give examples here, and that's good. Woodstock should reduce the number of nights that a non-owner occupied STR can be rented, and you've added the definition at the top that says there's no limit right now. Owner occupied STRs with owners on premise during rentals are good for Woodstock. Non-owner occupied STRs are good for Woodstock. So you're letting people weigh in no matter which way they want to weigh in. Are they happy? Are they sad? They want more? They want fewer? So I think it does do all that. And then your comments. Oh, and then at the end you have, I would bold this.
I can't.
Oh, you can't? Well, so you can't make a section that doesn't have anything underneath it? Because all the section headers are bolded. Can you make it a section
Well,
header?
that is in a section, and then that's the last statement. I think you could look at the last page. You can't, you know, it's a free program, so it's limited. I
Right.
can't do color. I mean, you could do colors, but it is so complicated because you have to put the code in, and I would have to do it.
Oh, so look at that. So it is kind of a different font because these are all bolded, and this is okay. So there it is. I mean that's fine. Yeah, if that's the limitation of technology.
It's
That
not
sounds
not the what is it? What you see is what you get. It's not like that. It's a little
right.
bit. It's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Okay. And my only thought is so right. And if it were section header, it would have this little caret thing, and it would look like it had. Okay. So I think that I agree with you. I think it's good. I think you got the best it can be. So.
Yeah.
So we've only got
Now, you know, the other thing I thought about was, you know, this is 19, it's 19 questions counting every, you know, it's a lot. But I think we want them all there. So, and I don't think it'll take anybody that long. The questions, other than the identifying questions, are not required. So people don't have to answer if they don't want to. But I will tell
Right.
you, when we collect all these, it's going to be really, it's going to be something to try to go through. It's going to be on a spreadsheet. It's going to be.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. So we'll, you know, I don't mind manually entering stuff. I mean, again, the youth center got 85. I know when I was on the comp plan, we did a survey. I forget how. Well, actually, in that case, I think we got like 600 or something. We got quite a few then, but we'll figure it out.
I think there were 600 or 700 for the comp plan. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see what we get, and we'll deal with it. So the other question is, should we have a statement here that says the survey will be open until?
I thought about that and I thought no.
So we had thought we would give it. I'm got my. I don't know if you can see my calendar up here. This little thing on the right here. So we were hoping to get it up by Monday the 30th. We were hoping to get it up by by the end of the month. And if we went till the end of October, it would actually be Halloween. I don't know whether we want to, is that still what we want to do? So our next meeting would be 3 weeks from now. And I don't know whether we want to, the alternative is to have it up. If we had it up till the 25th, then we would have it up for almost 4 full weeks. And then we would have an idea of what we've got when we meet on the 28th. So one option is just because I think you may get it up, it may go up this week. So for instance, if it went up, well, whether it goes up on the 30th or whatever, my thought is if we give people, or even give them until the 27th, I don't know what you think. Our next meeting, our next meeting is the 14th of October. The meeting after that is the 28th of October. what do you think the right? I think that we need to communicate an end date, whether or not it's on the survey itself, or it might be on the information we send out. But I think that we should know when we're planning to pull the data.
I don't think it should be on the survey because, you know, with the youth center survey, there was a big thing we were accepting. And I think I told you, I got the postcard, it was too late by the time, because I don't pick up my mail every day. And then at the meeting that you had, the town board meeting, they were like, oh, we'll still accept them, but they had it on the survey. So I think people might've gone and just said, okay, I missed it. So I don't think we should put it on the survey. If we want to put, I'm not sure. You know, I don't want to close it off too soon is the thing. And I don't know, you know, November, the end, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
so
because you know, we can start looking at responses before we close it. I don't know. I'm a little wary of not giving people enough time, and I'm a little wary of giving people an end date because then they might procrastinate, you know, and then miss it.
well, and kind of my worry, right? My worry is, yeah, if you're right, if we give an end date, they might procrastinate and do it right by the end date. If they don't know the end date, then it's kind of a mush kind of a thing. They don't have we're not setting the expectation. If we don't give an end date, we have not set the expectation. And I think that there's a benefit to setting the expectation.
What if we, you know, whenever we think the end date's going to be, we add to whatever post is on the town website and Facebook pages and all that, and say, please, you know, if there's only one more week left, or you know, it's another reason to, you know.
Well, I like the idea of the reminders. I mean, my preference is if we're able to get it out before the 30th or before, my preference might be the 25th or the 26th or the 27th, but the 25th is a Friday. So my preference would be that we give it an end date and remind people, oh, it's but that's your point's a good point too, where some people didn't receive the postcard till late, and we're talking about getting the word out. So we may not want to set a date till we have an idea of how effective we are getting the word out. On the other hand, maybe October 8th is the best deadline, because that gives us time to get it out, gives us time to work on the social media, get the letters out, let the word spread. I mean, I hate to not have any end date because I think things aren't going to happen. So how would you feel about October 8th for an end date?
That's fine.
Okay. And then we'll have.
No, not October 8th, November 8th.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for clarification. I knew it was the 8th. Let's get.
You could always have an end date, and then if not enough people have really filled it out, you could always say we're extending it.
Right.
You know,
Excellent point.
yeah, we want more. You know, we want more feedback.
Why don't we make it the 9th? Make it Saturday.
Well, so you want to make it the 9th because that's a Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll make this
on the survey.
Okay, so say November 9th is the end date, and then we're having our meeting then. Our next meeting after that would be, let me go back down here.
Saturday, the 14th or something.
Yeah, so if we have it the 8th, right, and then our meeting would be the 9th. Well, the thing I like about the 8th is, well, that's fine. The 9th is kind of the same. So it's the 9th, and then our next meeting then would be November 11th, okay, which is Veterans Day. And I don't know if that's an issue for people on this committee to meet on Veterans Day. Isn't that normally Veterans Day?
You know, Veterans, you know, it did fall on a Monday this year. It never did.
Yeah, November 11th is Veterans Day. So I don't know whether we're going to, I'm happy to meet on Veterans Day to be talking about this. So, but it's really a committee thing, whether or not it's an issue.
Yeah, it is November the 11th.
Yeah.
And the town does its own stuff on that day, right? Don't we have town events planned?
Sometimes, but they're not at night. They'll be during the day.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if family, like, I know, you know, the kids have stuff with band, like the Christopher's kids are involved in that.
Yeah.
at the field, etc. You know, it just might
Well,
be hard
Well, we'll tentatively,
for some families.
we'll tentatively say that we're gonna meet, because we meet at night after all those things are over with. But if there's a reason, if we realize that we get closer, we can't, then we'll adjust. So,
Yeah.
okay, so we have, so the end date is November 9th. Anything else from Jude or Joe? Because I'll open it up to officially to Linda and Sarah, when we're officially finished. So Jude and Joe, is there
Okay.
anything else that you want to cover? Because we've covered outreach. So you
Yeah.
covered outreach, we covered an end date, November 9th. And as Linda points out, we can certainly say, well, we're going to extend it if we feel like we need to. The same social media way that we spread the word, we can go back and I like your idea, Jude, too, that we might be able to say, oh, 1 week left, you know, as we get closer.
How will I get the town logo or insignia or whatever it is?
That's a good question. I'll need to, I think I have it somewhere. Town logo.
Little JPEG or something?
That's a very good question. I have to go looking around for it.
Okay.
So get to Jude ASAP.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Jude or Joe? Oh, we don't have Joe.
Lost Joe again. Yeah.
I think
So,
I'm good. I mean, I think if I think of anything else, I will send an email, but I think we're underway.
I think we're underway. So officially, Linda or Sarah, any additional comments that you all want to make?
Well, I just want to let you know, when you put it on social media, I have a couple of sites that I am administration of, and I will share it there too.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I was just thinking, I didn't want to interrupt while you were discussing the document itself. I know, being that it's a free document, you're limited, etc. So maybe even just, you know, kind of strengthening the language at the end. Even just one little word like "we thank you," you know, just that little personalization. It might just be so small, but the work that you've put in just to say "we thank you for your time," or, and I'm not looking at that line anymore. But just that little extra sprinkle, you know, and adding something like, you know, your opinion is so important to us. However you'd like to word that at the beginning. And you know, this is time sensitive, and this is time sensitive, and your opinion counts.
Yeah. Well, so let me just take a look at, so I brought up the first part. We welcome your thoughts and experiences regarding the impact of PRs. Contact to provide an opportunity as a CAP. Their comment feels at the end of the survey, where we welcome your thoughts and experiences regarding the impact of STRs in Woodstock. So I think everything, I hear what you're saying. On the one hand, I hear what you're saying. On the other hand, everything that we have does cover it. It does cover it, and I'm not sure how to strengthen it. You know, because right now it's all accurate, and as we strengthen it, how to smoothly do it. The one thing I'll tell you, and this is a sure a pet peeve of mine. If we said "we thank you for completing the survey," I always think, I've been in part of organizations where, you know, you go to an event and they say "we thank you for coming," and I think, well, who's we? I'm part of the organization too. What do you mean? You know, aren't I part of the organization? If somebody says "we thank you for this," and I think I'm part of that organization, I kind of question, you know.
Okay.
So saying thank you for the so I think this does cover everything. We'll incubate that. I can't
just how do you say that extra thanks? You know, it's like, you know, if you can't change the font, just, you'll know how to do it best if you think about it together. Connor's not here, you know, you lost Joe too, but if just, there's got to be that way to say it, just that extra little sweet way where people will feel appreciated, that they count. And maybe that way, if you don't have that real hard deadline, just to remind people, this is time sensitive and you do count. People want to feel like they count in this, right? So to say that at the header and to thank them at the end, then that's that sandwich in between. I know you're asking for their feedback, and I do understand that's covered, but it's
Yeah.
it's almost like a comfort in between that'll make people feel safe about it.
Okay.
I believe.
What you and I agree 100% with your sentiment. You know, agreeing with something and figuring out how to smoothly incorporate it are two different things. So
Yeah.
Jude and I can kind of incubate that. I can't promise it'll change, but I agree with your sentiment. I definitely agree with your sentiment, and we'll give that some thought.
Do you
And
want to
surveys are tough.
Sorry.
I really apologize. My very last statement. I'm sorry, Jude. I know you want to choke me right now. I'm seeing last one, but you missed the part with, like, right before the quorum was here. We were talking about the youth center survey, and like I have one mailbox, and there are 3 units here. So like, who knows who got it and probably didn't fill it out. And it's really hard. There are lots of homes like that here, right? So like, I understand you can place these in various places, but there was a housing survey that I took, you know, in my hand and passed out because there's actually an age gap here. There are certain people that they'll get them and not fill them out. So I don't know if there's a way I can maybe help. I'm happy to help. Put them in my hand. I'll pass them.
We should. I think the plan is to have a stack at the town clerk's office. Whether I'm not sure whether Jude and I are going to do postcards or flyers, but the plan is to have a stack at the town clerk's office. And you tend to come to the Como periodically, so you may take a handful and pass them around.
Okay.
No, we're not gonna do paper copies. I mean, on some, and that some people may not be able to participate in that. But I just don't see how at this point.
No, but if we just put a flyer, if we have a flyer at the town clerk's office,
I agree.
I can't afford to print it, but you know, I mean, I see like that face to face is just so effective.
Well,
just
right,
that social.
So if you have flyers, you can pass out the flyers that have the QR code and the URL on it. So I think so.
I agree.
Go ahead, Jude.
I was just saying that we're going to have something with a link on it. We'll put the link and the QR code,
right?
But we're not going to have actual paper questionnaires.
Correct. And I think everybody's agreeing that we don't need paper questionnaires. But if Sarah has a flyer that has the link and the QR
with
code,
the code,
she can pass that out. She can pass that out to people. So that's good. So
that's what I did for housing. Yeah.
So Linda, you've been very patient.
Yeah, I just wondered if you were going to let people know what the cap is, because a lot of people might say, "Gee, I wonder what the cap is." You know, like
well, it's actually at the beginning.
The actual number.
Currently, there's a cap on the number of permitted STR. Oh, we don't have.
Yeah, like in other words, there's a cap. So if I know half of the people that I know are going to go, I wonder what the cap is. I wonder, then they're going to be calling you up and trying to find out what the cap. So maybe you should give that number.
So that's okay. Well, let's investigate that. So yes, because you're correct. We asked them if we think the cap is the right cap, and we're not telling them what it is. So I'll investigate that.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I think it looks great, and like I said, I mean, I'm all for hearing what people have to say about things. And so I think it's great. I think the survey is a really good thing. So now, do they submit the answers to there's a little link where you guys will see the answers and then you can tabulate them, or?
Yeah. So Jude, do you know how we get the answers?
Yeah, it populates basically an Excel form, and something like that. Yeah.
So they go to it. So they actually click on a link, and then it gives them these questions, and then you are able to see the answers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. I've actually never done it before. Right? Hopefully, yeah. So I've never done it before. So Jude, are you the only one that will have because there's probably some security that they're not going to just let anybody go in and look, right? You're setting up the survey, so you'll be able to do it. Will anybody else be able to do it, or you're the only one who can do it?
I was looking at that today, and I think there's a way, like if you sign up for Kobo Toolbox, it can be shared with you. What I want to make sure is the results are not shared with every single person who does this survey. So I have to do some playing around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll let us know how that works out, because we want to keep. We want we want a small core to be able to validate that names and addresses are real, but we don't want to be sharing with the masses who said what, because there's a privacy thing. So we don't want people to be afraid of taking the survey, because we want to make sure that their answers are private, and that we want to share outside the group the aggregate of answers. But we do want to do some verification that, you know, that we have valid people took the survey. So
You might be able to download the XLS. You might be able to download that form and share it that way too. You might not have to go into the program.
to download the form.
I think so. Yeah, with the results. I think you can do.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm learning this. This is fun.
Yeah. There you go. I think it's cool. It's cool. So all good. So, all righty. Anything else before we close? Okay. Excellent. So thank you everybody that's on the call, and we're good. Our next official meeting is in 2 weeks, but Jude, you and I will be talking very soon, because you'll need the cap numbers. So you need the cap numbers, you need the logo, and I know you're working on the a first draft of the flyer tomorrow. So we'll get together.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Okay.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.